It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Heroclix headquarters with a top 5 Superman Heroclix. Hey guys, welcome back to your Heroclix headquarters. So today we're doing top 5 Superman Heroclix. But since there are so many great Superman figures out there, we're going to keep it simple and just cover the basic Supermans. So no Green Lantern Supermans, no future Supermans, no cosmically superpowered prime Supermans or whatever. Just basic, regular old Superman to start with. But without further ado, let's get to the list. Alright, and starting us off at number 5, we have Superman from the Justice League Unlimited starter set. Pretty cool action pose there, he's punching. The sculpts look great out of this set. They look just like the show, which is awesome. But then taking a look at what he does, he starts out with a trait, founding members, speed +2, but only if your force has 4 or more characters with the Justice League keyword. And for all friendly characters that can use this trait, action total +1, but only if your force has 6 or more friendly characters with the Justice League keyword. So it's pretty easy to get a +4 theme team with Justice League, especially from this set. So getting that +2 speed is pretty easy, which is going to be helpful. But then he also has this other trait that gives him super strength, and as a free action, you can place him adjacent to an opposing character he knocked back at least 1 square this turn, and then make a close attack targeting that character. So super strength also gives you knockback from close attacks. So it's pretty easy to just punch somebody with a close attack, knock them back a few squares, potentially off of elevated or into a wall for some knockback damage, and then just place yourself adjacent to them and hit them again. And then you can knock them back again, potentially into a wall again, and just stack on the damage. Just basically two-shot somebody pretty quick. Then he's got special defense power, stop, invulnerability, and super senses, and Superman can't be healed. So it sucks that he can't be healed, but he does get 2 of those stop clicks in a row at the back end of his dial. And looking at the 125 point line, you can see he starts with some hypersonic speed right there, which, like I said, with the pretty easy to get +2 speed from his trait. So we're looking at potential 12 hypersonic, 12 attack, 18 invincible with indomitable and 4 damage with that super strength. Sadly, you can't use an object with the hypersonic anymore, but you can still do tons of damage for the rest of his dial there. I do wish he had a click of charge, maybe on a 60 point line, but all together, very solid. Lots of high defenses, lots of good damage reducers. The only other thing I wish he had is a little bit of range, like 5 or 6 range would have been cool. Superman team ability would have helped with that as well. He never goes below an 11 attack either, so his attack and damage and defense values are all great, and the potential to attack somebody twice in a turn is crazy, even knocking them back a whole bunch to do that extra knockback damage. So for all those reasons, he's going to come in at number 5. Alright, and coming in at number 4, we have all 5 of the shifting focus Supermans. So we'll start off with the one that I actually like to start the game off with, the faster than a speeding bullet Superman. So taking a look at his dial there, you can see he's got a 14 hypersonic speed, 11 attack, 3 damage, some flight, and some super senses there. So they all have the same shifting focus Superman trait where they can take a free action to replace themselves with any of the other ones on your sideline. He just has a pretty basic dial, nothing really super about it except for his hypersonic. I like starting the game with this one because 14 movement with flight and hypersonic speed is pretty crazy. Really helps you get into position wherever you need to be. Potentially make an attack if your opponent is foolish enough to move up that far. But then the one I like to switch to immediately after moving up is going to be this guy right here, the Man of Steel Superman. This guy can take all the hits, 7 movement with sidestep, and a 19 defense with that special defense power. So this guy's pretty strong. in the way that he can take a hit. He can take a lot of hits. If we take a look at his special defense power, Superman can use Invincible and modify the defense value of adjacent friendly characters by +1. This power can't be countered, which means it has basically protected outwit. So that is super good. He doesn't really have anything else going on other than that he is invincible and you can't outwit it, and a 19 defense that also boosts the defense of adjacent friendly characters is nuts. So like this guy can carry somebody with him with his high speed flight, and then you can swap to this guy to get that really good defense for your opponent's turn. And then from here you'd want to swap to any of these other ones that are a little bit more offensive. This guy right here, probably my favorite sculpt of any of them. I mean, picking up that huge chunk of brick wall is pretty freaking awesome. This is the more powerful than a locomotive super strength Superman. So he's got that charge, 11 attack, super strength, some toughness, 3 damage. The really cool thing about this guy, we'll take a look here. He's got improved movement, destroys blocking terrain. He's got this awesome trait here, using my strength when making an object attack. Increase Superman's damage dealt by 1, and give him a free action if he's not holding an object to destroy an adjacent wall or square of blocking terrain, and then roll a d6. On a 3 or 4, he can hold a standard light object. On a 5 or 6, he holds a standard heavy object. So this guy makes some great use of objects and has the ability to make his own out of any of the blocking terrain adjacent to him, which is just super cool. And then he can also run through it too, which your opponent might not see coming. If you place yourself behind a wall, they might think, oh, they're pretty safe, but then no, you switch to this guy and he breaks that wall to get a heavy object and then charges through it and hits you for 6 damage because he does an extra damage for using an object. It's pretty crazy. He also has the Superman ally team ability there, so that at least helps him get through the hindering terrain as well. And is something for your wild cards to copy if you have any wild cards on your team. And then the laserized Superman here, looking super awesome. He's got some running shot there, special attack power, flight, some energy shield, 3 damage, and of course also having the Superman ally team ability, so he can see through stealth with his heat vision. And then taking a look at what he does, he's got a special on his attack power, burn. Superman can use Penetrating Psychic Blast. When he does, increase the damage dealt to the target by 1 if they have 2 action tokens. So that's pretty nice, if you catch your opponent off guard, being able to do, potential 4 penetrating damage is pretty crazy, especially seeing through stealth as well. So both of those Supermans are very good attackers. And then these all came from the World's Finest set. And then in the Elseworld set, they gave us, just like they did Batman, a new shifting focus Superman. So that's why he's got the new version card here. Taking a look at what he does, he's got a special attack power, Deep Impact. Superman can use Precision Strike and Quake. When Superman uses Leap Climb after actions resolve, he may use Quake as a free action. So he's got a lot of Leap Climb. This is the leaping tall buildings in a single bound type of Superman. He's also got a little bit of leadership there to help the team. And Indom, this is the only one that actually has willpower as Indomitable there. So if your opponent's thinking that you might clear your Superman, you could switch to this one to surprise them and get 11 movement Quake off on them. The only thing that kind of sucks now is that his Precision Strike used to be able to work with Quake, so that it can multi-target basically. So if you quaked everything, they would take a minimum of 1 damage. It doesn't really work that way anymore. You have to single target with Quake, but you could still use that Leap Climb to Quake on somebody and do a single target Quake, because now Quake is better that if you single target, it'll do your full damage. So you could actually, in a sense, get that full 3 damage Quake off on somebody, and then also gain the use of the Precision Strike to make it so that it can't be reduced less than 1. And of course, making it harder for super sense rolls and whatnot. And then you get the knockback from the Quake too. So they're all really great for any situation, and for only 90 points, they're bringing everything to the team that you're going to want in a Superman. And so for that, they're going to be our number 4 pick. And coming in at number 3, we have the other Superman from World's Finest, the Super Rare. This guy's got a really great looking sculpt there. Super awesome, just standing there on top of the building, looking cool. So let's take a look at what he does. Take a look at his card here. He's got a trait, World's Finest. Superman's powers and abilities can't be countered. So he's basically protected outwit on his whole dial, which is insane. And then if Superman is adjacent to a friendly character named Batman, Superman can use the Batman Ally Team ability. So if you're running a Batman on your team with him, he can also have some stealth, which can come in handy. 200 points is a lot, you know, but he's got that Superman team ability, and his stats are really good. So we're going to have to take a look at the figure itself, since this is an older card. But as you can see there, he's got flight with a 12 movement and a hypersonic speed, a 12 attack with super strength, 18 invincible with indomitable, and 4 damage, and a 7 range there. The main reason I like this guy, you know, and even 200 points is pretty good. Super strength doesn't quite combo with hypersonic anymore because you can't hit with the objects, but you can still knock somebody back. You can still grab an object just to use, you know, if somebody runs up on you. You got a 7 range that ignores stealth, which is awesome. So you could actually shoot for 4 from your hypersonic, and for 4 damage. And then as he takes damage, he gets some running shot penetrating blast there, and then he does eventually go into some charge and quake. And on his last couple clicks, he gets a 5 damage, which is great. His damage never goes below a 4 the whole time, which is freaking awesome. And really just the ability to, you know, not be outwitted on anything on his whole dial is crazy. So for all those reasons, he's coming in at number 3. All right, and coming in at number 2 is Superman from the Batman vs. Superman movie set. This guy looks great. He looks just like the movie. If you can see there we go. Looks pretty awesome in person. You know, they did a really good job on the suit and everything. And we'll just take a quick look at what he starts with. Superman and Batman ally team abilities. He's got a 12 movement with hypersonic speed, a 12 attack with super strength, a 19 defense with invincible, and a 5 damage. And of course an 8 range is awesome as well. So just like our number 3 pick, this guy can hypersonic for 12, shoot for 4, got a 12 attack, 5 damage. So he does a little bit more damage, has a 19 defense, a little bit more defense, and he just has the Batman ally team ability. He has 225 points or 150 points, so he's a little bit more expensive at his top dial, but he does also come with some improved movement to destroy blocking terrain. He's got a special on his defense where he can use Impervious, and at the beginning of your turn, if Superman occupies clear outdoor terrain, you can heal him of damage equal to the number of action tokens on him. So he's got a little bit of built-in healing. We'll take a little bit of a look through his dial just to check it out. This is him on his 225 point line. He takes a couple clicks. He gets that Impervious special where you can heal. And then he goes into his 150 point line. I know that looks like hypersonic. It almost looks like hypersonic and toughness, but that's actually supposed to be running shot and Impervious, and then the penetrating blast there. So for 4 damage, 12 movement with running shot, penetrating blast, and for 4 damage, for 150 points, that can see through stealth and break through walls with the movement and have stealth of his own. Can be pretty good too. Both dials are pretty good. And then, you know, he's got that special defense power to heal again, and he's got a few more clicks there where he's got some bit of healing there at the end. So he's pretty strong. I really just love that ability to break through walls with the hypersonic, and then you can run back where the wall was, and you have stealth to protect yourself. He's pretty great. Both point lines are pretty solid options, so for all those reasons, he's coming in at number 2. All right, and before we get to our number 1 pick, we have a couple honorable mentions. Starting off with the Batman the Animated Series Rare Superman. Here he's got the Justice League Unlimited trait that we've seen a lot in the JLU set that just came out. So at the beginning of your turn, you can roll a d6. On a 6, you can remove an action token from another friendly character with a Justice League keyword that's 100 points or less. Always helpful, really. Removing action tokens is always good. Special on his movement that gives him charge, and once per game, he can use hypersonic speed. Really just get that out of the way because he only has that on his top click, so I would just use that first thing. And then I really like him for his special on his damage, which gives him leadership. And adjacent friendly characters can use Mastermind, but only to choose Superman. He's indomitable. He's got Superman team ability, Justice League team ability, 5 range, flight. Starts with a 10 movement with that special charge, and once per game hypersonic. 10 attack with super strength, 18 invincible, 4 damage with that leadership special. So really cool. Some ability to heal there at the end with some steel energy and some battle fury. Really good really solid for 100 points, I think. And he's got some really good reducers, so taking the hits for his teammates is pretty easy for him. If your opponent doesn't know that he can do that, it can really waste their attack on one of your characters that can just transfer the damage to Superman, and then he's invincible, so maybe he only takes like 1 click or whatever. Yeah, pretty good. And again, these animated series sculpts look so perfect. I just love looking at them sometimes. This one's way better than the common Superman from the JLU set for the same amount of points, I think. And then over here, this guy's too old to even have a card to show you, but I had to give this guy at the very least an honorable mention. He is 251 points. He's got Superman team ability there. And we'll take a look at his dial. So you can see here he's got flight with a 13 movement hypersonic speed, a 12 attack with super strength, 18 with impervious and 5 damage, and a 10 range. I believe this guy is before even Indomitable was a thing, I think. So he's a little bit before my time. So you guys know how, I actually just talked about this a minute ago. When you use hypersonic speed, you have to reduce your range by half. I'm sorry, cut it in half. Not really reduce it, but just half it in general. So that's this guy's fault. Since this guy actually changed the rules of the game, I felt like he at least needed some type of shout out. 13 movement hypersonic with a 10 range. So this guy could literally move 13 squares and shoot you from 10 squares away. Ignoring hindering because, Superman team ability over there. And then you also used to be able to use objects with hypersonic. That was kind of a new thing they took away. So he was able to hit for 7 damage, if he hit you with a close attack with an object, which is just nuts. This guy's only got 1 click of KO. He's got 11 clicks of life. So that's pretty insane. And honestly, even by today's standards, his values are not too bad. They do dip, of course, at the end to pretty terrible levels of like 7 attack and 15, 14 defense, whatever. But they stay fairly solid throughout the first half of his dial, at least. And his damage actually, I think, only goes to a 3 one time. And he's got range combat expert there in the middle where it does dip down to like a 4 and a 3. So he's easily hitting for 5 or more damage his whole dial, no matter what. Even when he goes down to like a 7 attack, he's still got like a 5 damage. It's crazy the amount of damage this guy can do. And I feel like since he changed the rules of the game, he's, the no fun Superman, point and click, insta-win Superman. I had to give him a shout out. He's got to be at least an honorable mention for that. But without any further ado, let's get to our number 1 pick. What's that? A bird? A plane? No, it's Trinity War Superman. Just like Trinity War Batman, Trinity War Superman is just the greatest, really. He's so good. 250 or 115 points. Of course, he's expensive, as any good Superman should be. And then we can take a look at his dial to start with. So like we've seen, he's got that same 12 movement with hypersonic speed and flight, 12 attack with super strength, 19 with invincible and indomitable, and a 5 damage, and a 7 range with that Superman team ability. And of course that sculpt looking beautiful, flying in the air, floating there. So taking a look at his card, we can see what he does. Just like Trinity War Batman, he has a new kind of Justice League trait, where adjacent friendly characters of a lower point value with the Justice League keyword can use the Superman ally team ability, and friendly characters named Batman or Wonder Woman don't have to be adjacent or a lower point value. So obviously giving people Superman team ability is great. Giving you that improved movement and improved targeting to ignore hindering terrain is always going to be helpful. He's got a special on his attack later on in his dial where he can use Incapacitate, and when he does, when he uses it as a close combat action, he may target all adjacent opposing characters. And if he uses it as a ranged combat action and hits the target, an area of effect may include all untargeted characters that are adjacent to a hit target. So basically he's got a really good Incapacitate where you can hit everybody adjacent to him, or kind of do like an energy explosion type of Incapacitate where he shoots one person and then potentially can hit everybody adjacent to that character. And you know, the freeze breath is cool. I feel like we don't see that on a lot of Superman dials. They give him like, you know, the charged super strength, the running shot penetrating blast, but they rarely give him the Incapacitate of the freeze breath. So it's just kind of nice to see that. It's a little different. Special on his defense there, it gives him Impervious, and at the beginning of your turn, if Superman was damaged by an opposing character's attack since your last turn, you can heal him a click. So, of course, healing is always nice on these big Superman dials. And then Inspiring Hero damage power that he starts with is very awesome. And one of the main reasons he's my number one. Superman can use leadership when he does and succeeds modify the attack and defense values of all friendly characters by +1 until your next turn. So the reason that is so awesome is because that affects all friendly characters. They don't have to be adjacent to you. In fact, it includes himself as well. So we're talking about potential 13 attack, 20 defense to start with, just for succeeding on his own leadership. So this guy's really great. He can help himself out. He can help your whole team out. You know, he's got a little bit of healing there. I'll just click it a little bit. So after he takes one click, he gets to some healing. He's got that leadership special for a good long while. Then he gets some running shot with that special Incapacitate. You know, he really just keeps the stats pretty high the whole time. And I really like how, you know, with that special Incapacitate, it kind of helps him out with the fact that he's such a big character. It helps him from getting out-actioned. The leadership and the Superman team ability granting can help your team, which is even more helpful if you're playing like a really high point game, like 500 or 600 point game, or even just playing him at the 115 point line for that can help even in like a regular 300 point game. And plus he's got a little bit of built-in healing, which is great for being so many points. Being able to heal yourself is always useful. So for all those reasons, he's going to come in at my number one pick for Superman. That's going to do it for this top 5 list. If you enjoyed this list, make sure you leave a super like on this video. And let me know in the comments what your favorite Superman figures are and what other characters you'd like to see on a future top 5 list. Don't forget to click that subscribe button so you don't miss a video. But until next time, this has been Heroclix Headquarters, and I'm up, and away!